Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Lippett at Chiropractic Generation, where we're helping people live longer, healthier lives without drugs or surgery so they can live to their potential as they get even closer to being 100 years old or beyond. So part of how we help teach people how to do that, we've talked in the past about our tree, how people love to be the right side of the tree rather than the left. One of the core strategies that we teach people to do is to focus on getting their S in shape. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that we have our endurance, our structure, and our strength, and all three are essential to making sure that our spine and nervous system are as healthy as possible, so that as we continue to age, we maintain that flexibility, we maintain that connection between our mind and body, so the tissues and the cells literally have all of the life force they need in them, that they can do what they need to do to function normally. So when I talk about keeping endurance, strength, and structure in good shape and in health, in our office we have lots of different strategies besides chiropractic adjustments to do that. And often we'll send people home with tools and exercises to work on their own to get started in reconditioning the spine. And one of the ways that I do that most frequently near the beginning is with some spinal warm-up exercises, which is a very simple exercise routine that I have people do to keep the discs healthy in the spine. It has lots of applications, warming up for weightlifting or warming up for any sports or running, even just warming up first thing in the morning before bed, or first thing in the morning when you get up, but also before bed at night. And I'm going to show you some of those different applications in this video as well as the next one. But for now, we're just going to focus on how I do these spinal warm-ups and what their purpose is. So if you take a look at our spine, we have all these white bones here. And in between those bones we have these discs, which are very much like sponges. And over time, if they don't have proper activity, they literally dry out and get less flexible, which means the muscles have to work harder, and the nerves that exit from the spine have a harder time sending their signals properly. And so if you had a dry sponge and you wanted to get some motion in it, the way you do that is basically just get some water in it. And you might, if you just set it on top of a bowl of water, it might not do so well, but you have to literally get it in the water and squish it. And if you squish it, the water flows in and out. Well, discs are very much the same way. Now, obviously, it's a little harder to squish a disc, but we can get that squishing type motion or that pumping motion by doing the warm-ups in different directions. When those discs get warm, it's an action just like squeezing a sponge where the fluids go in and out. That means that toxins or waste products, carbon dioxide, gets released and back into circulation so the body can eliminate it. But it also means that new tissues, new fluid, new nutrients can flow into the discs, keeping them healthier. That means that we're starting to minimize the chance of early arthritis showing up. It also means that because those discs in the spine are warmed up, there's more shock absorption. And that means that basically there's more spring in a person's step. That's why it's so helpful using it to warm up before other exercise. Athletes that have done these exercises find that they get injured less often, and it's easier actually to do their stretches after, because the rest of the tissues are already warmed up and ready to go, but it's not a hard load that would potentially injure a joint. So the exercises are very simple. They're always done in a pain-free range of motion. And you can sit on a stool or beside the bed. Sometimes there's even wobble chairs or things that you can use. And basically they're very simple though. There's a couple different directions and I'll demonstrate. The first direction is flexion and extension, forward and back. And so the smooth motion, basically about this pace, you're going to start to warm up those discs. For some people when they come back, you might even put some pressure down in your hands to really accentuate that curve. And you only need to do those ones about 5 times each. But remember, pain-free range. If that meant a person did them this much, or even this much, that's a better place to start. Ideally, over time, we'll get a full range. Now the next set of exercises is just a different range where it'll be side to side. So keeping a curve in your low back, we start bending this way, back and forth, nice and easy. After about 5 repetitions, we move our arms up. And again, side to side. This focuses the movement in a different part of the spine so that we're going to basically work our way up the entire spine as we warm it up. Again, 5 times each side. for the upper one, then we start to do this to get the neck involved. And then arms up in the air. Now often I'll have patients that say, well, I can't get my hands up that high. That's okay. Keep them here. Just do extra repetitions at that level. Just make sure we have a bit of a forward curve in the low back. Then the last part of these exercises is the rotation, and hands back to here. So we've just finished here. The hands come back down to about collarbone level, and then it's just twisting back and forth. And as you go, as you get more used to these motions, you'll be able to go farther and a little bit faster, but it's a nice gliding motion. When you go side to side, those are 25 times each, so you really warm them up in that direction quite a bit. So I hope that's useful to you, and please leave us some comments about things you'd like to hear, or if any of this was helpful. And then next week we do a video, I'll show you the second stage of these exercises, which is called our spinal molding, to help improve sleep. Until then, take care and be well.